Man, don't you love it when non-stories all of a sudden become stories just because a few constant critics want to make them stories? We're going to talk about that, but we're also going to look to what really matters, and that is the actual Jets season that's coming up. We're going to talk about the biggest keys that have to go right for the Jets to not just get above 500. It's hard to believe that could happen, but not just get above 500, not just make the playoffs, but actually win the Lombardi Trophy. We're going to get into all of that and a whole lot more. But guys, you know what's up. It's Wednesday night. It's 10 p.m. and we are live. Welcome everybody into New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watt2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to join me for the Wednesday night show, whether you're watching live or down the road. I appreciate everybody coming in. And as we mentioned last week, made the show announcement starting July 3rd. So just a couple of weeks from now, 3 weeks from tonight, as we record the show will be moving to 6 p.m. So don't have to deal with the late nights anymore. I don't have to be your cure for insomnia anymore. And we're not going to be conflicting with Nick, Jeremy, any of the other shows that are going on. We're going on nice and early. So on your way home, as you're settling in, when you're in the gym, whatever it is that you're doing, I'll be there to keep you company. So we're going to get into a few things tonight. I definitely got some Jets topics to talk about. You know, it's funny. In the months of June and July, it feels like you're just searching for stories. So then all of a sudden you got to make stories out of nothing. And so that's what we're going to talk. We're basically going to talk about nothing tonight is basically the topic. But before we get into the Jets, let's talk about what's on my mind with a little bit of what we like to call 3 and out. So the first thing I do want to say on a side note, rest in peace, Jerry West, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I didn't mention Bill Walton a couple weeks ago, but yeah, we lost two giants in the NBA. So I want to give them a quick shout out. But the New York Mets, they actually beat the Miami Marlins. Who knew they were capable? Yes, they just finished up winning game 2 of the series, winning 10-4. Now, I said going into the Philly series that the Mets had to split with Philadelphia in London, and then they had to come back and win 2 out of 3 for Miami before the big series comes up against both San Diego and Chicago. And that's pretty much the pace that they're on so far. You know, last night's loss, Tuesday night's loss was pathetic on every level. The Mets put up 4 hits against the lousy Marlins. They made Tanner Scott, who is as unreliable a reliever as I have ever seen. They made this guy look like he was a Billy Wagner in his prime with basically 2 innings. Nobody even reached base. It was absolutely ridiculous. But Mets come back tonight. And the Marlins, one bugaboo they have is left-handed pitching. They are actually 3-20 against left-handed pitchers. But the Mets, hey, Francisco Alvarez is back. He is much needed, not just in this lineup, but his defense was sorely missed as well. Tyrone Taylor, 4 hits tonight. You had home runs by Harrison Bader, Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor. And then in the bullpen, you've got Daniel Nunez emerging as a multi-inning weapon. And Edwin Diaz is expected to be activated on Thursday for the series finale. So that will help lengthen out the bullpen a little bit. And I got to tell you this. I hope Nunez gets to stay. I'm a little worried that he threw 2 innings tonight. I hope the Mets are willing to DFA Adam Ottavino, because ever since the month of April ended, he has been horrible. Horrible. His whip is somewhere around 3, allowing about 3 base runners per inning. He has been horrific. But I'm very glad that Edwin Diaz will be back soon. As far as the Yankees go, I feel like whatever I say about the Yankees is the same thing that we're going to say for the next, 3 months, really. They've won 3 in a row, and it's about to be 4. They have absolutely dominated the Kansas City Royals this series. but we know the Yankees are going to make the playoffs. Okay, what it's a matter of is figuring out how to tweak the roster and to get it ready for October. That's pretty much it. But one thing I'm going to call out is certain people, especially WFAN's Keith McPherson, who I got in a little back and forth with today on Twitter. But hey, it happens; it's fine. Basically, McPherson and others are saying that Aaron Judge is the best hitter that they've ever seen. I guess they haven't seen Ichiro, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., Wade Bogg, Tony Gwynn, those types of guys. Aaron Judge is a great player, don't get me wrong, but we're rushing these comparisons a little bit. I've never seen a weapon in baseball as dangerous as Barry Bonds, ever. Let me know when Aaron Judge gets walked with the bases loaded and we can have a conversation. That's my thought as far as that goes. But yeah, Mets won a couple of games playing, better baseball, and the Yankees playing dominant baseball right now. Now I got to go on a rant here for a moment. If you all will indulge me before we get into the Jets content. Before I do that, very quickly, let's give a couple shout outs to my friends, all of you in the chat. The great Jets Mess is here. Channel member Mess, I appreciate you. Yep, just remember, memberships are available. Just $5 a month. You get some emojis. You get a shout out at the end of every one of my recorded videos as well. So hope you'll take advantage of that. Super chat, super thanks available as well. Hank G is here as well, giving the shout out to Mess. I see several other people in the chat as well. Appreciate you stopping by for sure and hanging with me on this June evening. All right, now I got to go into rant mode right here. I should put like alarm bells up, but I don't quite have that sound effect. And if I did, YouTube will probably give me a freaking copyright violation for that too, because they love their copyright violations. But my rant is hockey related, and it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on the ice. It's about what's going on off the ice, and that is the end of the website capfriendly.com. Now, if you're not a big hockey fan, allow me to explain what's going on. Now, no matter what teams you root for, no matter what sports you root for, we care about what players make. We care about their salaries. And I don't think it has quite as much to do with, well, I'm making this guy's making $50 million a year, and he can't do nothing, this guy sucks, and all this kind of stuff. It's not about that. We want to know the business. We want to know what's going on, but that just became a lot harder if you're an NHL fan, because we care about salary caps. We care about luxury taxes and trying to understand it. It just got a lot harder if you're a hockey fan. So here's what happened. So a couple of years ago, Cap Friendly replaced Cap Geek. Now, Cap Geek was a fan-driven salary site founded by a guy named Matthew West. Now, Cap Geek, that was kind of a guide to sort of like the hidden architecture of the league. The NHL was using a lot of paper and pencil, even through computers and spreadsheets. So Matthew West created Cap Geek so that the fans could try to figure out salaries, the salary cap, and all of that. Tragically, though, West passed away of colon cancer when he was 35 years old. And before he passed, he did close down his site. It was a really, really sad loss. But then Cap Friendly steps in, filled the void, and it was excellent. In fact, this thing was so detailed. I mean, I think the information was taken from teams, from agents. I think several NHL teams were relying on it to do business. So here's what happened. The Washington Capitals, the lovely Washington Capitals, decide to cut out the middleman and buy the website. Now, here's the problem. The league won't let it continue as what's called a forward-facing site. Okay, so the league considers salaries to be proprietary information. And the league is going to say, okay, you cannot be partners with this and you can't make money from it on ads. So once the Capitals purchased the website, it was coming down. That's what's so frustrating. So in the next month or two, Cap Friendly will be gone. Somebody like Puckpedia might step up, or Spot Track. Spot Track covers multiple leagues, but who knows how well they're going to replace it. But the funny thing is, to me, really the thing that pisses me off is Gary Bettman talking about in a press conference a few years ago. He's saying, in a quote, "We're not getting a lot of feedback on a Cap Geek style site. It's not something that seems to be driving fan interest as much as perhaps the media in this room and your colleagues." So what Gary Bettman is basically implying is fans don't care about salaries, or he doesn't want them to care about salaries. All he wants them to do is watch the games, buy the merchandise, spend your money, but don't worry about what they're making. Don't worry about the business. Just be a fan and shut up. and spend as much money as possible. That really bothers me, that that the fans are basically being insulted by the league. Why couldn't the NHL step in and buy the website if it was for sale? Rather, the Capitals buy it. And by the way, going back at a few, going at the Capitals, a lot of us are going at the Capitals on social media. Their fans are like fighting us. They're actually defending this BS. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely ridiculous. They just made it a lot harder to be a hockey fan. It really is. And I'll be honest with you, I have used Cap Friendly for my videos, for research, and now I won't be able to do that in about a month from now. So thanks, Washington. Here's to you. That's all I've got to say to the Washington Capitals. All right. So got that little rant out of the way. I do feel a little bit better. Oh, man. But, again, it's a thing where if knowing how your team spends money is also knowing how they're competing and how good the front office is doing. I mean, can you imagine if, what's the NFL website? Like overthecap.com? What if, say, the Cleveland Browns buy overthecap.com? We would feel that would be a bit of a loss to football fans. We wouldn't have that salary information. Now, I know that the contracts in the NFL are ridiculous. It's like splitting the freaking atom. I know that, whereas hockey is a hard cap. It's very, very straightforward. But yeah, it's become a lot harder to understand the business of the NHL. And the problem is that's the way the NHL wants it. It's sad. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's flip the mood over. See, I don't want to talk about too many other things that are bothering me. I want to talk about what makes me smile. And because they're not playing right now, the New York Jets are not making me too unhappy. So let's flip the mood over to green. In fact, I want to put myself in a happier place, a place where I hope to be at some point this season. That kind of a place right there, MetLife Stadium. Ah, that feels so much better. So everybody, we know we're entering Jets territory. So everybody say it proud, say it loud. Oh, that feels so good to say. Doesn't make it feel good just to say that? Oh. Scott Foster, is everybody pissed off tonight? Just mildly. No, mildly annoyed. Oh, no, Jets mess is bored. Is your burner account named Bobby? I know what Mess is talking about. I know. I saw, and Jeremy's known for rants. I just try to not make my rants about people, about other creators and stuff like that. That's just where I try to draw the line. Very few people deserve those rants. I mean, people like Tom Brady deserve it. Everybody on the Florida Panthers deserves it, right? But yeah, I try to. Yeah, you got to be a little careful with that, but that's I was gonna say I never witnessed I break up on the air before, but yeah, that moment was a little bit awkward. But hey, Nate's welcome here as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it was a little awkward, but I can't say it's the first time I've seen that, unfortunately. But hey, I've had my moments too, and I'll have more to come down the road for sure. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Jets news. Let's see what is in the news for the New York Jets. Well, there's obviously all the MiniCamp stuff going on. Yeah, there we go. So let's talk about some of the tryouts. So Jakeem Grant, I have not been on the air since that news came down. He was in MiniCamp. So he is 31 years old, 5'6", 170 pounds. Jets bringing him in for a tryout. Now, being that he's 5'6", my God, that's even shorter than I am. He hasn't done much as a wide receiver. Now, he was drafted in the 6th round of the 2016 draft by the Dolphins. Now, he's from Texas Tech, and he's really a return specialist who could play a little bit of wide receiver. Was very, very fast at his pro day. He ran a 4.38 40-yard dash. That's really, really good. He's been an All-Pro twice, as recently as 2021. The problem is that was the last time that he played an NFL game. So, March 16, 2022, he signs a 3-year deal with the Cleveland Browns, and then he was placed on IR August 10th of that year after he injured his Achilles during practice. So then he works to come back. 2023 comes around, and in the final game of the preseason, he gets carted off with a knee injury. So then he was diagnosed with a ruptured patella tendon, same injury that Edwin Diaz had for the Mets last year. He went on IR August 27, 2023. That ended his season. So essentially, this is Tariq Cohen, the sequel. All right, so these guys are going to be competing for a spot along with probably a couple of other players, maybe Izzy Abanikanda. But you really figure that the Jets are going to designate one roster spot for a returner. I don't think they want Malachi Corley to do it, even though I think he's capable of it. I think they'll give Xavier Gibson a chance to do it. But I think between Abanikanda, Gibson, Grant, and Cohen, one of those four are going to be the primary returner. So let's see what winds up happening here. But again, it's a no-risk proposition. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, we'll forget he was ever here. All right. So Harlan Abraham, good to see you here, buddy. Celtics up by 11 near the end of the third. Yeah, what are you going to do? We'll always wonder what would have happened if the Knicks had a chance to take them on at full strength, but we never got the opportunity, unfortunately. Harlan, I would expect him to be more of an inside receiver at only 5'6". You don't want him going against Patrick Surtain or anything who's 6 inches taller. It's almost one of those situations, screen passes, toss-outs, reverses. That's the kind of role you want to have. You want to have for Jakeem Grant. But again, I would expect him to get more than 3-4 snaps a game. If he is, then that's probably not a very good sign for the Jets. The great Dane O is here. I saw him in another show a little bit earlier. With the old lady, we'll have to rewatch later. I understand priorities. That's right. I get it, man. I agree. I appreciate the compliment. Yep. We are all men here. That is right. We're all Homo sapiens. That is correct. Yes, another inside receiver. That's why they went and got Mike Williams. So that's it. But yeah, hey, they got Williams. You got Williams and you got Wilson to play the outside. After that, who's your next outside receiver? It's probably Alan Lazard, and that doesn't give me the warmest feeling. That's why I think a player like Jason Brownlee could be a big, big deal if he can emerge for the Jets during this offseason. Because if one of these young receivers can supplant Lazard on the depth chart, put it this way, the Jets want that to happen. When they hired Sean Jefferson, probably the first marching order of business was, here, we got these 3 or 4 young wide receivers. Please make one of them better than Alan Lazard. Please give us the opportunity to bury him on the bench. That is what it's all about. All right, let me talk about this, Scott. Scott, with your permission, Scott Foster, while you're here, can I please go on about against something else that bothered me this week? I need to go into rant mode again. I know you're going to give me permission. Okay. A few of you, I'm sure, have heard about this, but at the Detroit Tigers game a couple of days ago, they had a little fan game, and let's take a look at that scoreboard. If you look closely, who had the most completions last season? They go with Aaron Rodgers, 0, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, whoever the hell he is, one of the Lions. I guess he's one of the defensive players who threw like a fake punt or something like that, completed a pass. 1, and then we got this little guy, Ben. How many completions is he going to have during this little competition or whatever? So even Detroit, even though Aaron Rodgers is not in their division anymore, and Aaron Rodgers was pretty much never in their league anyway, because Aaron Rodgers was out of their league for pretty much the entire time that he was there. Detroit basically, everyone talked about him owning the Bears. He owned the Lions' asses as well. No question about it. But yeah, people still want to take a shot at Aaron Rodgers, whatever they can do. Nate is here. Nate, how you feeling right now? You doing all right? Man, that got awkward. Oh, looks like we got a few people joining us in the chat right now. Hey, guys, you came in just in time for the Jets content to let you know we will be playing trivia a little while later. And remember to hit that thumbs up button. We get 15 likes tonight. We will spin the wheel a little bit later on. And Thomas Fitzpatrick brought some people over. Good to see you here, Thomas. He does some live streaming as well. I think he was covering the Red Sox game a little bit earlier tonight, wearing a Tom Brady jersey. Yeah. No comment. But I appreciate you coming by for sure. Don't attack my mom. No, I will not attack Mom and Nate. No. People don't attack Ma2K99. I will not attack Mom and Nate. Clancy is here as well. Clancy, New York Jets. Good to see you here, my friend. I'm glad that you are here. And Jets82, want to say thank you again for sending me the super chat last week. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate the sub. Thank you so much for that. Dude, if you want to support an overrated cheater, that is completely on you. No problem. You live with your own decisions. But if you ever run out of toilet paper, believe me, it will work very well for you. Nate got bombed like the Gaza Strip. Too soon. That's too soon. It was like awkward. I mean, Iran was one thing, but that was just like, man, I hope he doesn't clip that. Oh my gosh. About the only thing you could say is that like fast food sucks. How the else you're going to offend Germany more than that? All right. So that happened in Detroit. Now, Marcus May, I don't know how many people saw that Marcus May signed with the Dolphins. How about what a surprise that is, huh? And I got to tell you, May, he was a good safety. I remember being like super upset when the Jets drafted him just because it was the second safety they drafted in a row. And I felt it was just stupid business no matter what the player was. And for a period, he was a very, very good Jet. Then he goes to the Saints. I mean, it was a pretty forgettable time. And the Dolphins are getting just basically what's left of him. But I think about this with Miami, all right? They've got Javon Holland, who is in my mind one of the best safeties in the game. They've got Jordan Poyer, who's about, 53 years old, but still a great leader. He could still play a little bit. They drafted Patrick McMorris as well. And so May can be depth. If he plays a few snaps a game, then maybe he can be a useful player for them. But I think I would say they brought him in for his experience, but I feel like that he's a lesser version of Jordan Poyer at this point. So let's see what May does have left in the tank. Rising Rhino. He does a lot of live streaming. Rising Rhino, his content is one of a kind. Big Colts fan, as I believe. He's usually got a Colts jersey on, but he does a whole lot of sports, a whole lot of content. So definitely check him out as well. All right. Oh, CP's Mets and Knicks. Man, CP is a dedicated guy right there. You might say he's committed or he needs to be committed, but wow, he does a whole lot of content, a lot of post-game shows, particularly with the Mets and the Knicks. And I got to tell you, he stays very composed. He stayed quite composed last night, and I got to give him credit. I checked out his show. He did a pretty dang good job after that Mets loss on Tuesday night, because I don't know if I could have stayed composed. But definitely check CP's channel out, especially if you're a Mets fan or a Knicks fan, or if you know somebody who's a New York Giants fan. All right. Harlan Abraham has not eaten fast food for a few years now. Good job, man. Very, very good job. I have not eaten. I've had a little bit of fast food, like especially Chipotle, Jersey Mike's. Those are kind of my weaknesses. You know, when you don't live in New York, you got to do what you can. But I had a Char Grill, which is sort of a Raleigh burger institution. It was like a half-pound burger on a toasted roll. Did lettuce, tomato, raw onions, and pickles on it. They gave me a little bit of honey mustard. The French fries, though, were really good. No, not too thin like the little shoestring like you get at McDonald's, but not thick enough like where there's steak fries. There was enough crunch on the fries, but you could still bite into them. They were nice and pillowy, if that's the thing for French fries. And they gave me a few free packets of honey mustard. I got a big thing for honey mustard and barbecue sauce, but it had a nice Cheerwine, which is a local in North Carolina cherry soda. It was like less than $11 for the meal. It was really good. It was quite good. Well melted cheese. Only thing I would change on the burger if I could, they should have grilled onions as a topping. I want grilled onions over raw and maybe some jalapeno for a little heat. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Nick said he was leading the show. Ooh, it was uncomfortable. Yep, Roger, I made sure to give you a shout out. Yep, Roger, Roger brings the heat every week. You never know what Roger's going to say, but you know he's not going to say it if he doesn't mean it. So thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Addison, hey, how you doing, man? There you go. Give me the horns right there. Nice. Jet up is right. Yeah. Harlan Abraham, banner number 18 will go for the Celtics. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It is what it is. I'm just glad they got rid of Indiana. I don't know. I will say this about the Celtics, though. I mean, I can't stand most Boston teams. I think their coach is a good guy. I like the way he handles himself in the media. I think he's got good character. You know, I think their coach, Joe, I still can't pronounce his last name, is He's a good dude. That's not a coach I can really hate. I really can't. Maybe if the Celtics were to eliminate the Knicks, it'd be different, but I like their coach. I got to be honest with you. Billy SBC, did Redick set us up for a contract? Oh, I'm going to talk about Redick in just a couple of minutes. We're going to get into MiniCamp. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's just get into MiniCamp right now. Oh, right. Okay. I'll get into a few of those. Oh, yeah, I'll get into that in a moment. Okay, let's talk about MiniCamp. The 2 days are over. So now we have 6 weeks off until mandatory training camp starts. No Aaron Rodgers, but, he was there for the photographs at least. So I guess that mattered. But the Jets knew. Again, the Jets knew he was not going to be there. Whatever this event was, he planned it while he was rehabbing. This was planned, probably 6 months ago before the MiniCamp dates were ever announced. Now, the thing is, Saleh knew about it ahead of time. If anything could have been done differently, maybe they wouldn't have announced it right there at the press conference. I wish he hadn't said it was an unexcused absence as well, because all our haters, all the haters of the Jets, all the Aaron Rodgers haters, and they are out there, they just took the word unexcused and ran with it like they were Usain Bolt after the gun went off at the Olympics. Just crazy to me. Certain people on WFAN, certain people on ESPN, certain people on Fox who basically get a hard on every time something doesn't look perfect with the Jets. And by the way, this includes people who claim to be Jets fans. This is what bothers me. Some of these people basically buying into the BS that the haters throw out there. I mean, don't they get this? And it's so hypocritical. Even Tom Brady, precious Tom Brady, missed 11 days of training camp in 2022. Nobody cared. Somehow he gets a pass. But Aaron Rodgers gets the attention. Why? Because he's opinionated, because he's eccentric, because he goes into the dark hole, because he takes mushrooms, because he's endorsing, Robert F. Kennedy or Bobby Kennedy Jr., excuse me. It's all because of that. It's ridiculous. I don't have a problem with not making like a grand announcement of Rodgers' absence to the players. Okay, Tyrod Taylor is a veteran. He can handle a couple of series when players aren't wearing pads. I'm not worrying about Tyrod Taylor's preparation ability in June. Okay, so let's let that go right now. All right. Yeah, Rhino, you're welcome, man. No problem. No problem. Roger has the tools to cut the potatoes like Nathan's French fries, like the crinkle cut. Oh, I've seen tools to make the waffle fries. I've seen that. I actually saw one tip that looked really good. To make like steak fries, like potato wedges, take an apple core and put that down over the potato. And you get like those nice thick potato wedges. So I thought that's genius. Just stand the potato like upright, like this, and put the apple core and cut the potato up. And just like that, you got steak fries. So that's cooking tips for the night with Watch UK99. Come for the cooking tips, stay for the football and the sports. Roger, what are your thoughts on Joey Chestnut being banned from the hot dog eating contest on July 4th? Money talks and we know what walks. Here's my thing. My friends and I, some of the people I talked with on social media, we've got some different opinions on this. My opinion is the contest is going to have a lot less interest because here's the thing. Spectacle sells the show. Okay? Because you can watch people eat hot dogs, but if there's not a story attached to it, if you don't know a couple of the people, if you don't have a hero or a villain, it doesn't mean as much. Like, remember the old days when Kobayashi was the guy and people were, kind of rooting against him. They want to see how much he could eat, but they wanted an American to beat him because, let's be honest, we're rooting for Americans. It's our 4th of July, right? So Joey Chestnut comes along, and then you get the big rivalry for a couple of years. And Joey Chestnut's like, I hate to use the word hero for this, but he's the conqueror, right? That's basically what happens. Then Kobayashi goes away, and then it's basically Chestnut on his own. He wins 16 championships, which is pretty friggin' impressive. But now it's over. So now Joey Chestnut's not going to be there. He signed a contract with Impossible Meats, and Nathan's decided to ban him. Joey Chestnut wanted to be there, but Nathan's feels like it's a conflict of interest because he's representing another brand. I can't say I blame either side for it. I just wonder how much interest there's going to be this year. And people say, well, there'll be a new champion. What else did Joey Chestnut have left to prove? And I understand that. I follow that. But no matter who wins,
By the way, how many other competitive eaters can the average person name? Matt Stoney, maybe. I could name some of the old guys like Crazy Legs and a few guys from way back in the day. But I remember when Sonia Thomas was there, before they separated the men and the women. Sonia the Black Widow Thomas. But whoever wins is going to be like, okay, great, they won, but could they have beaten Joey Chestnut? So to me, it's like they're all fighting for a silver medal. So to me, it's like you're fighting for the consolation prize, and how excited can you really get about that? So that's kind of my thoughts on Joey Chestnut. Harlan is actually a Celtics fan, but a Celtic fan. It's funny. One of my better friends in Virginia, in Norfolk, he actually runs a intramural sports league in like 5-6 different sports. He is actually a diehard Jets, Celtics, and Red Sox fan. Pretty crazy, but I don't know. I guess he likes green. I don't know. It's the only thing I could think of. So, and I guess the Red Sox work with the green because of the Green Monster, right? Clancy, New York Jets, first and second round of the NBA playoffs, 100 times better than both conference finals and finals overall. You are preaching the truth, my friend. Yeah, obviously, if you're a Knicks fan, of course, that's absolutely true. But like the Knicks-Sixers series was one of the best first-round series of all time. Man, it was, but now it's over. I can't bear to watch the finals of either sport right now. I just can't. Still hurts. Still, I don't know. I didn't mind the Knicks losing so much because they were so beat up, but yeah, the Rangers losing. Man, I've already talked a whole lot about that series on a separate video. I don't want to get into it again, but it was like the 2014 finals when the Rangers ran into a much more physical team and just wore them down over time. That's what happened. There's nothing else I could say about it. Roger F. This Assange shit is so trivial to me. I'm a diabetic and almost lost my foot from infection. My insurance company approved my special shoe. Well, congratulations, man. And keep taking care of yourself. Whatever you have to do, take care of yourself. Yeah, my grandmother was diabetic, and yeah, I think I'd be prone to it as well. But yeah, I'm doing okay. But I know my grandmother was diabetic on my mom's side. So yeah, please take care of yourself for sure. Jets mess. Are you replacing Joey Chestnut in Coney Island? Not quite. No. My competitive eating days are about done. When you hit your 40s, it's pretty hard to maintain that metabolism, that pace. Yeah, I did my one hot dog contest. I won it. I'm retiring undefeated. That's the way I look at it. Put it this way. Hey, we do something for Super Chats. Hey, maybe I'll do that again. Yeah, if you remember a couple years ago when I was on with Jeremy and he did the hot sauce shots and I ate hot dogs for every, I don't know, it was maybe $25 that were donated in Super Chats. So maybe July 3rd we'll do something. I don't know what kind of appetite I'm going to have, but maybe for July 3rd, maybe we'll do the hot dog thing again. Maybe we'll do a little poll of different foods I could have, and maybe I'll do something. Yeah, it'll be the first 6 p.m. show, so we got to do something special. I'm going to try to have a guest on or two, but yeah, maybe we'll do something a little bit crazy. Maybe we will. Roger, yeah, won't be the same. It's like a remake of Ghostbusters with 4 ugly chicks. All right. Well, let's talk about what I know a lot of you want to talk about, and that's Hassan Reddick. All right. So I'm going to give you my perspective on this, kind of the history of it. We're getting more information gradually as it comes out. Of course, it's going to be denied by the team or by the player, by the agent. But the understanding after this trade happened was there would be no contract extension before the season. The plan was Reddick plays out the last season of his contract, play well, get the deal he desires, hopefully with the Jets. And the understanding was he was going to be in attendance for the offseason program, for MiniCamp, but somewhere everything changed. So to me, basically, Hassan Reddick gave his word and he broke his word to the New York Jets. It was a good faith agreement and Reddick went back on it. So that is a thing that is bothering me. I feel like Reddick lied by omission from the information that I know now. He said he was showing up, but apparently the words he omitted from I'm showing up, but apparently he forgot the second half of the sentence. And the second half of the sentence is once I get my new deal. Apparently he forgot to say that. Now, the good news, though, there is good news that Saleh and Reddick did speak this past weekend for the first time. So at least that happened. Obviously, we're not going to find out what happened. I don't know. Maybe Joe Beningo's texting the coach to find out what happened. Maybe Beningo will spread the information again. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm not worried about Reddick not showing up yet. Hassan Reddick is 29 years old. He's one of the best pass rushers in football. He has a big contract coming up, probably the last contract he's ever going to sign, certainly as far as a multi-year contract goes. I'm not worried about him not showing up in shape or ready to play football. Okay? He had, again, 29 years old, one multi-year contract left to give. I'm not worried, and he cannot afford to hurt his value by not playing football. Now, Reddick, he did send the tweet out today. He said, basically, stop the foolery, y'all. Don't believe everything you see on social media and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, hey, Hassan, enlighten us then. Not that he's ever going to do that. I know he's not, because you got to keep all this stuff private, but he's saying there's misinformation out there. Well, sure. What else is a player going to say if he's going to say anything at all? So when does this get done? My imagination is it's going to be early August, very early in a training camp. I would say the first few days of training camp, actually. Now, as far as I know, I've been looking for the dates of training camp when it starts. I have not seen anything, but typically it's going to happen at the beginning, at the very end of July. July 29, 30, somewhere in that neighborhood. My imagination is the Jets guarantee some extra money this year, put some incentives in there, and they will agree to not franchise him next season. That's about the only thing I could come up with, but I don't expect a multi-year contract at this point. So that is my opinion. Roger says this is the same thing Revis pulled. He will get paid. He will miss camp when he comes back. Expect him to pull a hamstring. Roger bringing a little bit of negativity into the chat tonight. I mean, anything can happen, but hopefully he's staying active. But again, I would expect Reddick to do that. I mean, Reddick is not known as a lazy player. And again, as good a player as he is, you can't be that good and not have great work ethic. So Harlan being a little bit extreme, saying the Jets should fire Reddick. Like the Jets, okay, like the Jets could fire a player. Don't think he'll play well this season. Harlan, here's what I'll say. Again, you have to remember the rotation where the Jets will be rotating their defensive ends. Reddick is not going to be playing 80, 90% of the snaps like he was doing in Philadelphia. They're going to keep him fresh. And maybe in that first game against San Francisco, Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson get the bulk of the playing time early on. Who knows what they're going to do. But I won't get worried until probably the third preseason game after that. So if it gets into like the beginning of September and he's not signed, then I'll start to get worried. But until then, I think it's just posturing. I'm really not too worried about it. I'm just not sweating this one out. Not yet, anyway. So again, 2.5 months from now, I'll be worried. Not any sooner. Clancy says, I wouldn't be mad if they redid this year and gave him next year, but can we afford it? Maybe if bulk is made into a signing bonus. If there's anything we've learned about the salary cap, you can manipulate it a million different ways. But you could get out of some contracts. I mean, with Lazard, that's $10 million coming off the books. So there's going to be a whole lot of a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'll quickly pull up the team's salary cap. So the Jets, as of right now, so for 2024, they have $6 million in cap space. Going into 2025, they have $59 million in salary cap space. And then the cap, so from what I'm seeing, the cap is 260 mil for this year and next year. Then it goes up to 284 in 2026 and then 314 in 2027. So you're talking an increase of 54 million over 2 years, but no increase next year. So in 2025, let's see here. 2025, I think I can pull up the free agents. So the Jets will certainly have some free agents. Morgan Moses, Chuck Clark, Michael Carter's the big one, Isaiah Oliver, Solomon Thomas, Leaky Fodu, Ashton Davis. I know I'm going through this fast. Tony Adams, Brandon Eccles, Jalen Holmes, Jamian Sherwood, a bunch of other guys who you're not going to be all that worried about. Okay. Oh, Zach Kuntz, got to keep him. But seriously, so there's some important players in there, but not a lot of guys where you're like, yeah, we got to keep this guy no matter what. Okay. A lot of these guys are on 1-year contracts, and then we'll see what winds up happening. But yeah, to me, Carter is the main guy that you have to extend, but I think there would be some room under the cap next year to retain. There we go. To retain Hassan Reddick. If that's something he wants to do at 30 years old, maybe he will. I don't know. Dallas coming back. Oh, very good. All right. We got, hey, Johnny boy. Good to see you here. The great Johnny Jimenez, my fellow Virginia Jets fan. Well, I was, but in my heart, I will remain to be a Virginia Jets fan. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Hope you're having a great night. Man, it's already 10. Man, this is gonna be a long show tonight. Wow. Man, you guys are balling out tonight on the chat. I appreciate it. Remember, keep hitting those thumbs up for sure, and all that other good stuff. There's a whole lot of ways to say thanks. I appreciate it. All right, fun. Yeah, the cap went up a bit every year. Yeah, not this year, but next year. Yeah, the year after that, it will go way, way, way up. Yeah. Right. We're gonna spin the wheel tonight. That's all on you guys. Yeah, it's all up to the chat. I will do that. If it all depends on the likes, let's see how we're doing. I think right now we're at 13 likes. So we got many more than that in the chat. So you all got to hit that thumbs up if you want the wheel a little bit later on tonight. Okay, a couple of other injury notes. Morgan Moses and Elijah Vera Tucker should be ready for training camp. We're getting back to the news here. There we go. Moses and AVT will be ready for training camp. That's good news. Mike Williams should be ready for the regular season. That was the first time that we heard that news confirmed. So he might be on a bit of a pitch count early on. So if he's on the same timeline as Breece Hall was, Williams may not be playing every snap like Garrett Wilson was. So that's something we got to keep in mind. I certainly hope that Williams can practice a little bit before the home opener, even if he doesn't play in the preseason. All right. Blitz BK is here. That's right. Yep. Guzzle that Red Bull. I hope you got it on ice. Hey, have it straight up, have it with vodka, whatever works best for you. All right. Isaiah Davis getting more time as well. Yep, the likes are going up. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. Garrett Wilson just continuing to dominate. Caught all 4 of his 11-on-11 pass targets. Tight ends are looking better. Kenny Yeboah. The beat writers really are highlighting Kenny Yeboah's receiving ability, making like these spinning catches or behind his back catches. Man, Yeboah could be that sleeper player on offense that nobody's really talking about. Roger, and it wasn't just this camp. Rodgers was throwing to him earlier on. I mean, Yeboah could be one of those breakout players in his 3rd year of training camp. So who knows what's going to happen? I'll tell you another one that I was very happy to see. Nick Faria, and I like Nick. Nick's a very, very good writer. I feel like he's very, very objective, doesn't write with an agenda like other people do. He praised Carter Warren, the Jets' second-year tackle, for his footwork, how it's cleaned up a lot. And I think that's something that we got to keep in mind because, Carter Warren last year was supposed to be redshirted, just like Max Mitchell was the previous year, right? But Warren had to step in as the Jets went through 13 different offensive linemen. But I felt, he didn't play as much in Pittsburgh as he wanted because of an injury. So he really needed some good training. But the fact that he apparently has grown in the offseason, now I don't know who's responsible for that. Is that Keith Carter? Is it Carter Warren? Is it his teammates? Is it his, did he go back home and get some good coaching over there? But apparently Carter Warren looking much, much better. And we got to be very encouraged about that because could you imagine if next year the Jets starting tackles are Olu Fashanu and Carter Warren and they're both really good? Imagine how much money you'd be saving, number one, and you have the youth on that line, potential building blocks for years to come. I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited to see what Carter Warren can do. But hope he's ready to play right tackle. And Quantez Stiggers. Hey, those of you who were here with me over the last couple of months, and we were breaking down those under-the-radar prospects, we knew Quantez Stiggers before most people were even knocking him because they didn't even know his name. Now, I know the great Dom C. I got to go here. The great Dom C., the king of draft coverage. I take his word as gospel usually, unless it's about J.C. Latham. I'm sorry, Dom, I had to. Yeah, I appreciate those words very, very much. And check out Dom C's channel. You don't want to miss it. This guy goes as thorough into the draft as just about anybody that you'll ever find. Does his research well. In fact, I think tonight he's already preparing for the 2027 draft. He's already working on the press pass, and he's found some long snapper in Southwest Missouri State that he's breaking down the film on tonight. But Dom, you rock. I appreciate it. Yep, we definitely need Williams for game 1. I think it's going to happen. And the fact that the Jets aren't going to Denver, let's be encouraged about it. That's right. We got Brady Latham. The only likable Brady in the NFL, right? That's what I say. JQuest57, hope you're doing well. Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? You said that. Then I'm going to say this. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So let's get into the main event of the evening as I take off the news. But yeah, I'm so excited about Quantez Stiggers. A pick six. He had a pick six in practice today. His coverage apparently has been really, really good. And the players are getting high on the coaches are high on him. And who knows if he really emerges, that's going to make DJ Reed expendable. Much as we may not want him to go, you can't pay everybody. Sauce is going to break the bank in a little while. And Michael Carter, I just don't think he's replaceable. So, yeah, but this rookie class is looking pretty good. So the JD haters who say, I only have one good class and that he sucks, they're about to get humbled. They're about to get humbled like the Iron Sheik and the Camel freaking Clutch. I had to make you humble, baba. Oh, baby, I'm excited. Quantez Stiggers, man. All right, well, let's talk about the main event of the night. The 5 keys to the New York Jets winning the Super Bowl. I'm not going to make it obvious, like win this many games, win 4 games in the playoffs. No. We're not going to talk about that. I'll give you one obvious thing in my mind, but then I'm going to break down a few specific things as well. Let me know what you think. Throw your comments down in there. Definitely would always appreciate your feedback. Oh, Assist is here too. I want to shout out Assist. He's here just about every week. I appreciate his time and staying with us to be here, right? Gonna name him Q Stick. He's been living up to the story so far. It seems like every practice he's coming down with an interception. That's the thing. He is a smart player. He knows how to high point the ball, and he is very, very shifty. His coverage skills are really, really good. I think the biggest thing with Stiggers that he had to work on, I believe, was his tackling. His run defense, learning how to really tackle well instead of just wrapping up. So learning how to tackle well will be a big thing for him. But as far as the coverage goes, I don't want to say a ready-made product, but he could definitely hold his own right now. Yeah. So, of course, he's not perfect, but he's going to be good. Never a fan of the Iron Sheik. He humbled you, Baba. You're good, the Holland, the Abraham, you make it the jabroni rooting for the Celtics. Main event was Nate versus Jeremy. Hey, I could get them both on. They're both welcome on the show to do a little point counterpoint. They are more than welcome. Nate has his 5. Health, defense, Rodgers. See, I thought you go health, Rodgers, health, and everybody else's health. No. Yeah. Listen, I don't know if I should say this, but watching some of the Iron Sheik's old promos when he goes, and Gene Okerlund's interviewing saying, you're a very intelligent Jew. It's just like, oh my God. The stuff that he got away with that you can't get away with now, just unbelievable. By the way, I can't quote this because it's just way too racist, but if you ever want to hear what Sheik was capable of, Google Steve Corino Iron Sheik story. Steve Corino is one of the better independent wrestlers of the last, 20, 25 years, pretty much a coach now, but he had a very good run in pro wrestling. Did Steve Corino, ECW, Ring of Honor, a bunch of other companies. And he told a story when he was younger at a Jewish community center where the Iron Sheik was wrestling. And the promoter said, please get some heat, Sheik, to get some heat before you go out to the ring. And he cut a promo. And it was it was so ridiculous. It was just so ridiculous. And I am not about to repeat it. But if you want to just see how crazy Sheik could get, it's Steve Corino, Iron Sheik story. Man alive. Johnny Boy, did you watch the Who Killed Eve documentary? So good. I'm not familiar with that. The Who Killed, not the band, I hope. Oh, Killing Eve? Is that it? Killing Eve on what is this, Netflix? Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds worth it. Yeah, I just got Netflix actually. I didn't have it for a while, but I just got it back. So, all right, might have to check that out. My channel is on if I get them both on right now. I think I might open up in a little bit, but we got to get through our content. But all right, let's do that. All right, first key. This one's going to be very obvious, but I can't go without it. Is health at key positions. I'm going to roll through this. So with Aaron Rodgers, Here's the thing. Tyrod Taylor can fill in for a couple weeks. He'll get you a couple wins. But is he going to beat Kansas City or Baltimore in an AFC Championship game, especially knowing you're going to be playing the referees as well? No, it's not going to happen. I know it's dangerous to rely on a 40-year-old quarterback who's coming back from one of the most major injuries an athlete can come back from, but at least it's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I will say this again, in my mind, the most talented quarterback that I think I've seen in my lifetime. It's him and Mahomes that I've seen. Manning, probably just right there behind them. But that's about 35 years going back since Montana. I'll go there. Now, with the offensive line, Tyron Smith is going to be sort of on a regimen, a specific routine. He's probably going to rest a lot during practices during the season. And it worked well for him last year. Smith played 13 games in 2023, and that's the most that he's appeared in since 2019. Now, as we said earlier, Moses and AVT are going to be ready for training camp. That's very encouraging. But AVT's got to get through a full season. Got to. We know how different the running game is when he's in versus when he's out. The Jets need him on the field. Now, with Mike Williams, hey, in 2021, he had over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. His career contested catch rate is over 54%. He gives you that red zone target that the Jets have not had in years. Maybe not since Brandon Marshall. Yeah, pretty much not since Brandon Marshall, I would say. He gives Garrett Wilson the protection that he needs. You can't double Garrett Wilson when Mike Williams is on the field. And I just have one hope. Please, for the love of God, let the highlight of Mike Williams' Jet career be something other than the frickin' Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich. That's all I'm asking for. If that's where his career highlights as a Jet, that ain't going to be good. And I also want to mention the linebackers. Now, I know linebacker is typically not a key position, right? But CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams were one of the best, if not the best linebacker duo in the NFL. Over 100 tackles each, a combined 140 defensive stops that had so many that resulted in pass breakups, interceptions. And I think why they work so well, there's sort of think of your great duos, like your Laurel and Hardy, your Abbott and Costello, your Martin and Lewis, whatever it may be. They bring very different skill sets, and it works so well. CJ gives you the leadership, the tackling reliability. He knows what he's doing. Quincy's a lot flashier. Quincy is faster, makes big plays, but he's still a little bit more prone to missing tackles, although he's gotten much better at that as his career has gone on. Behind that, you got a lot of unknowns. Jamian Sherwood, pretty good player, but doesn't get a lot of snaps, maybe 10 a game, something like that. Chaz Surratt, Zaire Barnes, we don't know what these guys are. So keeping those two linebackers healthy, I think, will be paramount for this defense. Roger F., you're talking to Rogers, not a Zach. I don't know who the Zach person is that you speak of. I'm trying to forget him. I had to go to therapy to forget him. I know Rogers can do his job in his sleep. Yes, but he needs to be protected at the same time. If he's protected, I got no doubt that Aaron Rodgers will have an amazing season, because we know this. Aaron Rodgers is near his best when he's pissed the F off. And he's pissed right now. And I love it. That's a great way to play quarterback with a chip on your shoulder the size of a freaking aircraft carrier. Scott mentioning a UDFA and Jackson Sermon. I think also Jimmy Charlo, the Army guy, I think he's a linebacker as well, I believe. All right. So obviously help at the key positions, but a couple other things. The tight end's got to take the next step. So here I highlighted both Conklin and Ruckert. I mean, guys, this is amazing to think. I don't want to get into the uniforms all night long again like I have before, but isn't it pretty funny that we actually thought that this was a good look at one time? Oh, my gosh. Compared to what we have now, it's like night and day. These look like college uniforms. This looks like the University of North Texas, for Pete's sake. But anyway, the NFL doesn't seem to have a lot of respect for Tyler Conklin. NFL fans, the media, even certain Jets podcasters. I'm not talking YouTube guys. I'm talking Jets podcasters who continually take shots at this tight end room. But here's the thing. Conklin had 61 catches last year. That matched a career high in receptions, right? And had a career high 621 yards. And that was with crap quarterbacks throwing him the football all year long. Now, the disappointment, no touchdowns caught. But this is a guy who's caught 70% of all of the targets sent his way, and he had only 2 drops on 87 targets. That's really good. but he's a stretch the field tight end. He's not a red zone tight end. Okay. Now, he may not get the same level of targets now that you're adding Mike Williams and Malachi Corley, but he will be a better threat in the red zone with Aaron Rodgers taking the snaps behind center. So, and it's also time for Jeremy Ruckert. It's time for him to take a step up and emerge as a credible offensive target. He has not done that yet. But I think a big part of it is that the offensive line has been so bad, has been so anemic, that he's had to stay in there and block most of the time. And he hasn't had as many opportunities to go out on pass patterns because the Jets have needed all the protection they could get. Now that you've got a more fortified offensive line, now you could do that. And maybe Jeremy Ruckert also can get in that H-back role because I don't think Nick Bawden's going to be on this team anymore. Just my opinion. We'll find out. But maybe Ruckert could be that lead blocker as well and catch passes from that spot. We also know Aaron Rodgers loves to use a fullback. Maybe Ruckert can fulfill that role. And we talked about Kenny Yeboah. Aaron Rodgers is liking him, so is Tyrod Taylor. So Yeboah could emerge as well. And, of course, you can't forget Kuntz. We all need more Kuntz, right, Johnny Jimenez? Yes, we do. We're gonna keep milking him until we can't milk him anymore. Now, we're going to talk about the defense a little bit, but Roger F., man. Roger will put out his negative posts, but he'll put out his positive ones as well. On paper, it matches up with the 85 Bears. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take the 86 Bears. I will settle for the 86 Bears and be perfectly happy with that. But yeah, let's make these guys' lives a living hell. The one thing, again, the biggest question I have with this defense, when Quinnen Williams is not on the field for the 30% of the time that he won't be, how can they stop the run up the middle? Because that Chicago defensive line, who do they have up the middle? Steve McMichael, William the Refrigerator Perry. Plus you had Richard Dent, Dan Hampton on the outside. So Wilbur Marshall at linebacker, guys like that. Mike Singletary at middle linebacker. So you had an amazing run defense. I don't know if the Jets' run defense is quite that good. Great as Quinnen Williams is Leaky Fotu going to be there as well? I just don't think the Jets have the two-way defensive tackles that you want to have that run defense. So I don't think they're quite on that level. So, all right. Yeah, they do have a chance to be great, but that's my biggest question is the run defense up the middle. There we go. ODU Coops is the best. I love it. Oh, Roger F. Nobody watches them podcasts. Our comment section all know what time it is. Who would rather watch Talking Jets, Ricky or any clown on ESPN? Yeah, there are a lot of people who are just, again, they're trying to get reactions. They're trying to get clickbait. I'm not here to make all these crazy headlines, all these scandalous headlines to get people to click. I really try not to do that because, I don't want to mislead anybody with what I'm putting in. But some people feel the need to do that. And, if you don't have the trust of your audience, then what do you have? That's the bottom line. Jeremy, the check's in the mail. How you doing? Hey, say hi to Nate if he's still around. Nate, are you still here? Haven't seen Nate in the chat in a minute, but no, we definitely got we're all experts in our own way in our own certain fields, no doubt about it. All right, let's go to number 3. Now I'm gonna, what I do on the preview videos? We always flip the script. Yep, Will McDonald makes the Jermaine Johnson leap. That's right. The Jets moved on from both JFM and Bryce Huff because they believe in number 99. Now we know JJ is going to be relied on to really replace JFM, but McDonald is going to have to help Reddick replace Huff. It's not going to be easy. But here's the thing. Will McDonald had 99 pass rush snaps last year. Only 99. So on average, that's about, 6 a game? Almost 6 a game. In those 99 snaps, he had 4 sacks and 12 pressures. Now, imagine if he's like a real rotational piece now. Let's say he's getting 300 pass rush snaps, and he keeps that up. 12 sacks, 36 pressures. I know you can't always do that. You can't quantitate it that way. But if that is any glimpse of what he could be, and that was just his rookie year when he was figuring out how to play, watch out. He may be more, and I think he's more than a pass rush specialist. He made some very, very good stops in the backfield against the run. I got to tell you, I'm excited about what could happen. I really, really am. So I've got some good confidence in number 99. And I think he's pretty much the number 3 defensive end on this team right now, ahead of Clemens. Okay. Now there's some other guys. Let's see what Eric Watts or Braden McGregor do. And we'll talk about them more down the road. But yeah, McDonald's going to have some good competition as well. But I think we've already seen what he can do. And I am excited that he has some very, very good capabilities with an increased workload. We saw JJ take the step up. Let's see Will McDonald do it too. Why not? Why the hell not? Addison's got a little more time. Hey, I aim to bring I bring the chaos by bringing in chaos. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta be honest though, I always spell chaos K-A-O-S because I'm such a Get Smart fan. Those of you who might be a little bit older who watched older TV, you know what I'm talking about. Number 99 should be retired. Hey, you never know. You never know. Hey, maybe the NFL will be the next sport that retires of the number 99 for all teams. You never know. JJ should get 15 sacks. Hey, you know what? Could happen. Again, think about this too, guys. Imagine the Jets playing with a lead because the offense is so good and the other team has to throw the ball. And the Jets know this. Now they could tee off on the quarterbacks. Now they could send the house if they want to do that. We know this defense doesn't like to blitz a lot, but now you could do that. And you know what? If you have a secondary that's good, why not blitz just a little bit more? Why not do it? Can you start to see the formula of where the greatness is coming from? Can you see it? Can you see it? Excites me. Number 4, safeties hold up their end of the bargain. We got Tony Adams and Ashton Davis in this spot in particular. Sauce Gardner in the background. But last year, Tony Adams, in his first year as a starter, allowed 1 touchdown to 3 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, 23 defensive stops, and 6 pressures. Now, he had a very good season, but he's going to have to replicate that and even improve on it. So what is Chuck Clark going to be? Now, here's the thing. We know he can tackle. He's very steady. He's very reliable, has great football sense. He has made open field tackles pretty much on Tyreek Hill, or he at least prevented Hill from taking a football in the house. Clark is incredibly smart. When you're coming off a torn ACL, what are you going to be in coverage? Maybe Clark is in a situation where he's got to play a little closer to the box. But here's the thing. The Jets don't really rotate their safeties. They'll add a third safety onto the field, but they're not going to rotate a safety if they don't have to. So that is going to be very important. Can Clark handle, say, a tight end or a receiver who's going down the field? That's really, really important. And how much of a role does Ashton Davis get? Here, you want some numbers that are going to blow your mind? Think about, here's the percentage of defensive snaps Ashton Davis has played in the 4 years he's been a Jet, years 1 through 4. Year 1, as a rookie, he played 55% of the snaps. Year 2, he played 81% of the defensive snaps. Year 3, he played 1% of the defensive snaps, and I assure you that was not from injury. Year 4, last year, he played only 19% of the snaps, but he played as well as he has defensively ever since he's been in the NFL. It's really, really strange. Davis earned more playing time when he was on the verge of getting cut, when a lot of people, and I was thinking about the idea too, were ready to send Ashton Davis packing and sending him down the New Jersey Turnpike. But he stepped up his game on special teams, and I'm going to say this too. I've said this before. When Ashton Davis gets his hands on a football, he doesn't drop the ball. And I can't say that about everybody in this secondary. Even some of the star players, I can't say that. That's just the truth of it. So Davis is that weapon that you can use in certain spots, but he played 1 out of 5 plays last year. Maybe he does play a little bit more this year. Let's see what happens. And number 5, I don't know how many people are going to think of this, but the more I thought about it, the more I could not do a list like this without including this particular individual, and that is the head coach himself. It's about Robert Saleh. Can Robert Saleh establish himself as a good head coach? Can he make the right decisions in the big moments? Now, if you listen to frickin' Mike Francesa today, he's a bad coach and he's a bad leader. Let's talk about Saratoga and the horses. The horse from Schenectady, I think he's going to be a good horse, but Robert Saleh's a horrible head coach. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Celtics won tonight? All right. All right. Can't say I'm shocked. All right. But Saleh has a lot to prove in these spots. Does he know when to call timeout, when not to call timeout? I feel like he's gotten better ever since that disaster against Detroit 2 years ago. Does he know when to throw the challenge flag or not? Does he know when to kick? That could be a field goal or a punt, or go for it on 4th down. Run or pass. Am I going to blitz once in a while? What defensive lineman are you going to put on the field in this situation? Okay, I'm not so much worried about offensive play calling, but I am worried about him making the right decision in the right spot. Okay, and the truth is, and I hate to go to this, but I'm going to, the NFLPA, they've been doing these report cards where they evaluate different things about franchises, whether it's the training staff, whether it's the food, the coaches, how they're treated by the owner, all of this kind of stuff. And in the last one, 1,700 players were evaluated, were polled, let's say. And Robert Saleh, as a head coach, was given a grade of B, and that ranks 24th in the league. So the website for the results stated, I'm quoting here, only 72% of players feel head coach Robert Saleh is efficient with their time. That ranked 28th overall. They also said that the players feel that Saleh is somewhat willing to listen to the locker room. That ranks 29th. So while Saleh can be very motivational, he won sexiest coach alive, as if that actually means anything in the world. And all of this, he could come up with all these analogies and stuff like that. He has not been a great manager of time. And I'm actually quite surprised that the indication is he's not willing to listen to the locker room. I don't understand that. Saleh just comes across as a guy who is pretty personable, but that is not the vibe that's been going around. But he's apparently going to focus more on the offense this year. Now, he hasn't coached. The last time Robert Saleh coached offense at all was 2002, when he was an offensive assistant at Michigan State. And although he's around offensive coaches, I don't know he's capable of helping on that side of the ball. So a lot of the critics are similar. He's getting a lot of the same criticisms as Brian Flores did, because when Brian Flores was with the Dolphins, he was criticized that he struggled to develop Tua because he was not picking great coordinators and he didn't have a lot of input in the offense. Well, we've seen that play out with Saleh, Zach Wilson, and Mike LaFleur, but Saleh's timeline was extended because Aaron Rodgers was traded for. Okay, and let's be real. It's going to be Rodgers who determines how far this offense goes. It doesn't matter how many hours Robert Saleh is sitting in the meetings for offense. Okay, so I'll tell you what, guys. Let's see what's going on here. It's 11:07. I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to do something for you guys. I know we're going to get into trivia here in just one moment. The great Nick Shine is here. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now, and we're going to get ready for trivia in a moment. But if anybody would like to join me in the chat tonight, the link is I got to bring the trivia slide back in, so that'll just take me a moment. But while we're doing that, if anybody wants to join, you can click on the StreamYard link, and we can do that. Oh, there we go. Oh, it came up. All right. All right, we'll put it back in just one moment. I know I'm going to bore everybody with trivia, and then we're going to bore everybody with the wheel because you guys crossed the 15 like mark. So, guys, very well done. Thank you very much for that. So that's how I feel right now. So thank you very much for that. How long till trivia, Nick? We're going to play it right now. So yeah, I'll give you a moment if you like to, if you would like to come on. I'm like Bobby Midnight. Are you on for 5 hours and we can only see it from about here up? The boring wheel. I know. From what I hear, Bobby went to sleep or something. I guess it was past his bedtime. Give me 2 minutes, I'll be there. Man, if I had a nickel for anyway. All right. All right. Well, we're going to do that in just one moment. And if anybody else wants to join in, we can. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do the wheel tonight as well. So hope everybody's having a fantastic week. And who knows, after this, what are we going to talk about? Because the Jets aren't getting together for the next 6 weeks. Man, We're gonna have to come up with some random topics here. Maybe we'll have some people on and we'll talk a little bit. But yeah, the link is right there. So Yeti putting a few things in the chat. Okay. G Dubs 1,200, Ted Aaron 1,500, Mikey Dubs dropping 600. That's 3,300. I feel like I'm reading Latin. Nick should just get some rest. Let's not rehash earlier events. Love you guys. No homo. Love you too, Raj. Yeah. Did Reddick? Oh, yeah, Billy. Did Reddick set the Jets up for a contract? We're never going to, I don't know if we're really going to find out, but maybe Reddick just knew that Philadelphia was not going to do it. So he said, okay, trade me somewhere where I can win, and maybe they will do it. I can't imagine the Jets said to him, yeah, we're going to, or said to the agent, yeah, we're going to trade for him and we're going to give him a contract. Put it this way. If a contract had been negotiated ahead of time, the contract would already be signed right now, wouldn't it? So to me, if anything, maybe the Jets said, yes, we're happy to sit down and talk contract, but we need this, this, and this. Like, we want Hassan to participate in these events. And then he decided not to do it. And I don't know. I still think the Jets would have made the trade for him even if he didn't agree to do that. Because let's be honest, the Jets needed another pass rusher. There's no question about it. Once they lost Bryce Huff, it was absolutely needed. So, yeah, I liked it. Yeah, Jimmy Leonard was, man, when Leonard was hurt, the defense was lost. You remember the 45-3 blowout against New England in 2010? That happened. Jim Leonard got hurt in practice. He hurt his elbow that week and couldn't play for a little bit. And without Leonard on the field, the Jets defense just had no idea what they were doing. So, yeah, it was definitely a blow, no question about it. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. I enjoy doing this trivia with you. And so I believe it is that time where every week I bust open the books. I go into the websites. And it is me who challenges you, the most loyal fans of the most loyal fan base in all the NFL. How much do you know about your New York Jets? So if you are ready, let's play Jets Trivia. And it wouldn't be the same if I was playing the trivia without one of my Jets pals in here with me. So at this time, allow me to introduce to you one of the finest Jets content creators out there, one of the most knowledgeable Jets fans out there, definitely one of the most passionate Jets fans out there, a frequent violator of the Mann Act, the one, the only Mr. Nick Shine!
Frequent violator of what?
Just go with it.
You glitched. I didn't hear what you said.
I said frequent violator of the Mann Act.
All right. I'm sorry.
All right. So here we go. So Nick, first of all, how you doing? How did it was an interesting show tonight, wasn't it? A lot of production.
On to trivia, Adam. On to the trivia, Adam.
Okay. Let's get right to it. So as everybody knows, here's the deal.
Give me a fucking trivia and give me a wheel, buddy.
I can oblige with those two. Bobby said the same thing to me the other day. Anyway, so we are going to give you 5 minutes. You in the chat, put your answers right over there. And your question goes a little something like this. Name the only Jet to lead the NFL in defensive interceptions for a single season. I want the player and I want the year.
Is this one of my favorite defenders of all time?
Yes, Dimitri Patterson. How did you know?
I don't want to say it right away. Is this my guy?
No, I don't think this is your guy. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there we go. Roger with another wheel emoji. Okay, there we go. All right, Yeti goes with May Rickens. No, it was not May Rickens or his cousin Ray Mickens. I'm afraid that answer is not correct. So
Roger said my guy.
There we go. Say again.
Roger said my guy. That's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's who. Eric McMillan. It is not Eric McMillan.
Oh, it's not.
Okay. It is not. No. Clancy says Aaron Glenn from 1998. Good try, but good try. Good. It was a good guess. Aaron Glenn, Eric McMillan. Excuse me. No, one of those guys. So there was only one Jet, and I'm interested that you guys are smart. You know not to name one particular player because the ball was never thrown his direction. Kerry Rhodes, says Roger F. No, I'm afraid it wasn't Kerry Rhodes. Johnny Boy goes Antonio Cromartie. It was not Antonio Cromartie. Okay. Clancy says Revis from 09. No, yeah, we all know Revis. Didn't get a lot of interceptions because he never had an opportunity.
Oh, I like Yeti's guess.
Victor Green is a very good guess. However, it is not the correct guess. But it's a good one. Going with 6, I could tell you it was more than 6. And guys, don't worry, we're not going back to like the 1960s with this. We're not talking Daynard Paulson or Johnny Sample or Randy Beverly or anybody like that. All right, Johnny Boy goes with Jimmy Leonard. Now one Jimmy. Roger F. Ed Reed. Guys are throwing out a lot of good guesses here, but we don't have it yet. We're about halfway through the time. About 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Clancy getting a little creative here with Mo Lewis. Was not number 57. No, Scott wasn't Johnny Sample. This guy did not win a Super Bowl with the Jets. Roger F. goes with Coleman, Marcus Coleman. No. By the way, it was not Lee Cravat either. Just thought I'd mention that.
You sure?
Oh, let me double check. Well, actually, you know what? He would have tied, but the referees took one away for a holding call on a defensive tackle. So, yeah, got screwed out.
Mahomes again.
It's always Mahomes and the refs. I know.
All right.
Addison. Robert Woodruff.
I think Nate. Check Nate's answer.
Is not running law. Nate is going with Ty Law. Well, is it Ty Law? It sure is Ty Law. That is
06?
It was
06?
It was 1 second here.
You wanted the year too, right?
Yeah, I could tell you it was. I'll give you the number. It was 10 interceptions. It was not 06 though.
Then it had to be 05.
Close.
He wasn't here in 04. He was in New England still.
Yeah, so 04. I'll double check the stats here, but I'm positive it said 04. Let's see here.
I'm pretty sure he was in New England. Didn't New England win the Super Bowl in 04?
Oh, yep, 05. That's right. Yep, 2005. You're right. Yeah, it was 04, 05 crossover. Yep, 2005. That is exactly correct. So it was Ty Law with 10 interceptions in the year 2005. So, yeah, good job, guys. We got that with about a minute to spare. So there we go. All right, let's get rid of that.
Yeah, Jay Quest put up a comment at the end. I was severely drunk that year. I don't remember him having that many either, but I blacked out at a bunch of games that year.
As opposed to me, I now my goal was to get blacked out as many games as possible, just so I don't have to remember them. Not true. Usually, most of the time, I'm drinking iced tea during the games. I don't too often drink during the games. But
well, now that you're not a president, you can get blitzed.
That is true, but on one hand, I do have to drive home, and two, I still have a video to do, a recap video after the game. So
Uber it.
And that is true. Yeah. And there is definitely a contingent of Jets fans down here in Raleigh. The problem is it's a little bit divided with people going to different places to watch games. So I got a feeling there's going to be like 4 or 5 different locations. So if I do a Jets chant, I don't know if it's going to be as impressive with 5 people doing it.
Yeah, you hop around a little bit till you find a good spot and you find a good crowd. Maybe by mid-October, you find a place.
I'm a Jets bar hopper. Yeah, I'm a Jets bar hopper. That's all it is.
Find a place that fits you and you find a good group.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jay Quest. I appreciate the compliment. Appreciate that very much.
I have a question for you.
Fire away.
Law was the only Jet ever to lead the league?
For a single season, yeah. Only one.
Nice.
Only one.
Good work.
Yeah. Who is Dimitri Patterson? Johnny, this is not Jeopardy. No, Dimitri Patterson was Simon. Yeah.
Johnny showing his ESL, English as a second language, put an exclamation point and not a question mark. Very good, Johnny. We got
Yeah, you need to go like Victor Borga with the phonetic punctuation, like the like that. But no, Dimitri Patterson was basically signed during an off-season, basically disappeared from the team right before a preseason game, went AWOL, and never came back. Just one of the most absurd, ridiculous signings of all time that the Jets ever had. The only reason he's not considered a villain is because he wasn't able to play horribly in a game because he never played in one of them. So
I want to look something up.
Yeah, we'll do the wheel in a couple minutes, guys. Nick, I knew you were upset
Very
because
much.
you guys didn't respond to Chloe wishing you and Jeremy a good night before bed. All right. Sweet
I'm
dreams,
sorry,
Rob.
Roger.
Yeah, it's all good. All right. So, okay. I'll tell you what. Let's get right to it. It's 11:20. Let's get right into Bobby's favorite part, everybody's favorite part. Let's spin the wheel, why don't we? You ready, Nick? I know you are. All right. So let's see what we got to do. I got to share the screen. Try that again. One of these things. This StreamYard can be a little temperamental here, but we'll get it so we can share it. All right. Not now. Present. We'll get to it. Roger's got the glasses on. All right. Good, man. There it is. Okay. Spin the wheel. Just have to refresh that. Let's click allow. There we go. Blow it up. And here it comes. All right, guys. So I'm sure many of you kind of know the deal that the way this works, there are 100 random New York Jets from the past on this wheel. We've got Hall of Fame Jets and we've got Hall of Shame level Jets. So we're going to spin it. We're going to land on a player. And then you in the chat, you are going to tell us where you believe that player should be ranked on this top 10 list. And at the end of 10 spins, let's see what this looks like, going from 1 all the way to 10. And last week, man, that was an all-time wheel. It was going so well, but all we had left was number 1, and we landed on Doug freaking Bryan. It was heartbreaking.
It's the first time Doug Bryan ever hit.
Oh my gosh.
That was nice. That was a good one.
Yeah,
that joke screwed me up.
Yeah, assist is right. Last week's wheel was still insane. I still have the list right here, as a matter of fact. I'm not even kidding. I kept it. My God, it's a good wheel when Richie Anderson lands in spot number 9. It's a pretty good sign.
Did we get McCamey from the week before too?
Yeah, I think we did. Now, Nick, before we start spinning tonight, I do have a question about this one for you. You tend to have a very strong feeling one way or another what kind of a wheel it's going to be. We're either going to get a lot of great players or a lot of crappy players. Are you feeling a strong way one way or another tonight?
Today has been shit the entire day through. So I have a feeling this is going to be an epically great wheel. I have a feeling we're going to get big name after big name. I feel that somebody like Wesley or Al might be in the bottom 5. That's how good this wheel is going to be.
Yeah. Nate with a good question. And by the way, I have the wheel blown up on my screen. So I'm just looking at the chat through my cell phone. Is there a way, Nate asks, is there a way to keep the live list on the screen instead of the wheel? Nate, I would like to do that. I've thought about that. I think it would be a great idea. The issue that I'm having though, is if I don't max the wheel out, it's kind of hard to see the wheel. And I got to figure out some sort of way to keep it going. I mean, I could put who we land on. I could type it in the chat for you, but yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on how we could do this, whether it's a layout or something like that, yeah, definitely send me your suggestions. My email address is in the channel description. So, but yeah, you guys are always welcome to email me if you have any ideas on ways to make things better. So, but yeah, I've thought about that, and I definitely think that would help. I'm just being honest with you. I don't yet know how to do it.
Just a tip. That's what I do when I'm on my phone. If you're on your phone, you can pinch and zoom in on the video. I don't know if people know that. I don't know if this is something obvious, But if on my iPhone, I'm able to pinch and zoom in. That's what I do a lot when I'm on Bobby's. I'll zoom in to see who's who because there's no names on there. But if you can pinch and zoom in, you can then navigate and move around and see the names on the wheel. I don't know if that helps. If
That's
not,
true.
I'll go kick rocks.
People can zoom if they're on their phones or laptops or whatever. Yeah, I may have to just put another like application, like a notepad or something.
I have an idea for you.
What's that?
The bubble, the light bulb just went on, and that's why the stadium's lit up.
Ding!
If you have a screenshot of all the names, you can share that on your YouTube as a post during the day, and then people can pull that up to see the names. You follow me?
Okay, so they may not actually see the wheel, but at least they'll know who the players are.
Yeah. Yeah, they could screenshot that or something or pull that up in a different way. But if you have like your screen thing, if you do a screenshot of it and you can share the names, maybe that's a way they can get it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll never see it. Like the writing for my name is tiny. If you're putting 100 names, you're never going to see it.
Right. So that's not a bad idea. And I could always throw the link for it in the. I could always do that. I mean, I could click back and forth, but it might get a little crazy clicking from the wheel to the list. I mean, yeah, it would be great if we could have both up at the same time for sure.
Or pay attention for this 4-minute names. It's like 9/11. We're going to read the names before we start at the ceremony.
That's quite the comparison.
A reading of the names. Well, it's the only place I know that they read names. I'm not being disrespectful about 9/11. It's just I know where they read the names.
I know you're not a Carolina Hurricanes fan. I understand. You're not being disrespectful at all. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I've seen quite a few things, but anyway. All right,
Curtis
guys.
Morton, Stephen Hill, Freeman McNeil, Richard Todd, Jericho Cotchery, Ray Mickens, Kyle Wilson, Muhammad Wilkerson, Kyle Brady, Darrell Rivas, Tremaine Johnson, Jason Morrow, Wesley Walker, Calvin Pryor, Richie Anderson, Jeff Cumberland. All right, I'm done.
Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing. John Machida. Yes, he was quite good. I think he like bad Michael Jackson read all the lyrics in like 9 seconds. I don't know what, it was ridiculous. All right, guys. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start spinning that wheel. But guys, remember, let's make our predictions. If you pick the player before each spin who we land on, then you get to put that player at any spot on the wheel that you want. So before each spin, make sure you put down your prediction on who we are going to land on. Now, for me, I'm going to go with somebody who I think we haven't landed on all that often. I think we need to get some new guys on here. I'm going to say we're going to land on Brian Thomas. Nick, what do you think? What do you say?
Jerry Philbin, Ken O'Brien, Eric Decker. Give me Blau Powell.
Blau Powell. All right, very good. Matthew Smith, where is Warren Sapp? Probably smoking dope right now.
Wow. This has been a crazy night on YouTube where I haven't said anything shocking yet. And everyone's out shocking the shock jock.
So you are no longer the shock master.
No, I am now getting shocked.
The shock master stumbling over the wall.
This is the weirdest day in the history of YouTube for me. I don't even know.
Oh my God. All right, guys, here we go. All right, it is time. Spin number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Round and round it goes.
Screw you, Clancy. I see that comment.
Almost.
I think somebody guessed him. Nate
Nate
got him.
did it. Sean Green, one of the newest additions to the wheel. Nate, Nate, I love that you got it. Wow. Nate, this is your lucky night. All right. So, Nate, here's the deal. You can put Sean Green anywhere on this wheel you want, from the best player that we're going to pick on the wheel to the worst player we're going to pick on this wheel. So, whatever number you want, that's where we get. And this is the first time this has ever happened with spin number 1. I could tell you. So, Nate,
I think I got it on the second spin.
Yeah, you got it early, but it's definitely.
I got John Hall right on the second spin, like many wheels ago.
It was John Hall.
So I always guess John Hall.
I'm
Very
sure
good, Nate. Nate, Give us the number.
Yep, Nate, the ball's in your court. We need your number, and that's it. Roger trying to influence Nate. Roger, this is Nate's call.
Scott,
Sean Green wasn't a Jet very long, but he did make a pretty good. Oh, he wore a Sean Green jersey a few days ago, so he's going to make it a little.
All right,
higher.
wait. All right, here we go. Let's guess Nate's prediction. I'm gonna say he's gonna go 4.
I think he might even go 3.
Really?
I think so, because Green to me would be about a 5 to a 6, about a 5 player. Because when he played, he was good and he got better as the year went on. He just wasn't here very long. I think he's going to. All right, he's going 4. You're right. Okay. I think 4 is not horrible, but yeah, I would go about. I think 5 would be like perfect for him.
Again, I think Nate is. I think Nate has. I don't know if he's doing this just coincidentally, but I always relate. What did you do in the playoffs? And Sean Green in San Diego, in New England, left some memorable moments as a Jet. I know he was like a second back, but that game clinching touchdown in San Diego is epic. That touchdown in New England, laying down and putting the Patriots to sleep, was epic. You know, like not the greatest regular season career, mostly a backup running back, but a very, very good player in the playoffs and made plays when they matter, right? He's like a Derek Fisher. Not great regular season, but made some big moments in big games.
Robert Ory, that kind of guy. And I hate to give you a negative spin, but because as you know,
I've had enough of that tonight. What do you got?
No, well, when I was at the AFC Championship game in Indianapolis, when he got hurt, the Jets' offense really wasn't the same because he was running the ball very, very effectively. When he went out, the Jets' offense really, really stalled.
And you know what? I'm going to say 2 words. Braylon Allen. That power, physical runner. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but if you block the first level and he just takes that angle and the linebacker can't get to him, why can't he break some? Not the fastest guy, not the most elusive, but he will just run straight through you. And if Braylon Allen can be anything like Sean Green as a compliment, as a number 2 running back, buckle the fuck up. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I just hope it's for a little bit longer than Green was, and I'll tell you what, I got a lot of confidence that it can be.
He did nothing after us.
No, I think he went to Tennessee for like 5 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay, guys.
To show you, though, how good a running back can be when he's got the right line in front of him.
Oh, look at the Denver Broncos. Olandis Gary, Mike Anderson, all these guys that nobody ever heard of. But they had such a good line that it didn't matter. Timmy Smith in the Super Bowl for Washington behind the Hogs.
223?
Something like that. Yeah, he was setting records before he wound up, messing his life up, unfortunately. But all right. So let's go on. So now it's going to be spin number 2. So everybody put your new guesses in. Maybe now I don't think we've ever had it happen twice on one wheel where somebody guessed a name twice. We've had one guess correctly, but I don't think we've had 2 players guess correctly. So let's see if it can happen again.
Adam. 204 for Timmy Smith.
204 in that game? Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to go Brett Favre because that was the other name that you added with Sean Green, and let's see if it pops up hot.
Okay, I'm going to go with another running back. I'm going to go with Le'Veon Bell. I'm just feeling we're going to get some clunkers tonight.
Oh, all right. All right, I wanted a good wheel. I think we're off to a good start with a Sean Green.
I think a pretty good wheel, but yeah. All right, here we go. And we're going to spin the wheel in 3, 2, 1, go.
Sorry. I thought that was the countdown to a flash.
And we land on
Richie.
Richie's
hot lately. That's 3 straight weeks.
Once again, Richie Anderson. How about that one? All right. Well, nobody guessed Richie. Hey, Richie. How come you were only number 9 last week, Richie? All right.
Another guy, infamous for kicking off the Colts playoff game with the screen pass for the touchdown. I think it was 62 or 58, something like that.
Yeah.
Was a very good lead blocker back when fullbacks mattered. Leading the way for Curtis Martin. Very good pass catcher out of the backfield. Didn't he have 90 or did he hit 100 the one year with Vinny in 2000?
He had a lot. Yeah, he was.
Vinny bumped it off to him nonstop in the hurry ups.
All right, let's see. Let's see some numbers. I'm seeing some 7s. I see an 8. Nate says he doesn't know who Richie Anderson is.
Wow.
All
With the
right,
Jets
well,
for 10 years, Dallas for 2.
yep. Anyone? Yeah, I think he went there when Parcells went to Dallas, as I
He had
recall.
88 receptions in 2000. That was the year with Al Groh.
Wow.
125 targets, 88 receptions. He
Clancy,
had 400 catches as a Jet, 3,149 yards, 14 receiving touchdowns.
Clancy
And
says he was
4
our
rushes.
best fullback ever. It really depends how you qualify a fullback. Like, was Matt Snell a fullback to Emerson Boozer being a running back? Because if it was, I might have to go with Matt Snell. But we had some good ones for a bit, like Gerald Soule, certainly Tony Richardson, but Richie Anderson was here for a long time. So the longevity definitely means something.
I can't go below 7, but I could agree with Harlan and go up to 6. But it is
Yeah.
early, and we don't know the rest of the wheel. I'm okay
Yeah.
6 or 7. I'm not going to be
I,
distraught. I can't go down to 8 just
I,
because close your eyes and picture that shitty grass turf and that screen pass again from Chad and him and Mawai just running up the sideline together.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I can't. I think 7 is about the right spot. And I think on
Okay.
average, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay, so I'm going to go with a 7 on Richie. Okay. All right. So, do you think I should type this in the chat or not a big deal? Like who's where? Like as they come in. Do you think I should type the names in?
That'll get buried.
Yeah, probably so. Okay. All right. Well, so far, number 4, Sean Green, number 7, Richie Anderson. So that's 2 spins down, 8 spins to go. All right. So let's go to spin number 3. I say, you know what, Nick, you go first this time.
Lamont Jordan.
Wesley Walker.
Get your guesses in, ladies and
Guesses
gentlemen.
in. Give you a few seconds. Namath, Leon Washington, Chris Ivory. Okay. Yeah. Maybe this is going to be the night of running backs. Who knows? Yeah. We could probably even do a wheel just for running backs in all seriousness.
I like it.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could do individual. We did one for quarterbacks, but quarterback is tough because you only have one quarterback at a time. But when you have running back, wide receiver, defensive line, offensive line, yeah, you could do like position specific wheels if you wanted to. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, just got to make them interesting. Okay, all right. All right. I see quite a few guesses here. Wow, a lot of them in. All right, here we go. Spin number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Spin. And we're coming to a stop on Foley Fatukasi.
I thought we get him off the wheel after this week. Like, he's too much. I'll go 8. I don't think he's better.
We can. We can get Foley out. Yeah, I can work on that.
I think he's an 8 because I don't think he's better than Richie Anderson.
Yeah. To me, I definitely can't have him at a 9 or a 10. If Richie Anderson wasn't on here, I would probably put Foley at about a 7 because he did his job. It was a limited job, but he did do it well. A low round pick who was here for 4 years, played well, moved on. Yeah, I could go with an 8. Jet Smith seems to agree with us. Jay Quest a little bit lower with a 9. Assist agrees with us. Roger F wants a respin. Now, Raj, you got to take what the wheel. The only time we respin is if we land on the same player twice. That's the deal. All right, guys, I'll give you a few more seconds to get your numbers in. Swig of water for the working man and woman. All right. Okay, a few more seconds. Yeti goes with an 8. Okay, I think we got a pretty good consensus on this. All right, so Foley Fatukasi will be our number 8 player on this list. All right, so we got Sean Anderson 4, Richie Anderson at 7, Foley Fatukasi at number 8. So far, this is sort of like the okay wheel is kind of where we are right now. It's about time that we got extreme one way or another. I'm going to say with spin number 4, we're going to get Nick Mangold.
Give me Brickashaw then.
Yeah, I'm going to say we get another player for the second straight week. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, by the way, hey, Chad, I do have a favor to ask of you guys. If I take Foley Fatukasi off, give me a player, a Jet who's not on the wheel that you would like to see us add to the wheel. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. See, Vernon Golston, Curtis Martin. Well, that's pretty much two extreme levels right there. Aaron Glenn, Art Monk. Art Monk is not on the wheel. Freeman McNeil mentioned as well. All right.
Is Adrian Morel on the wheel?
I don't believe he is. Is
Antonio Holmes on the wheel?
Oh yeah. I definitely have. I definitely put Holmes on there at one. Yeah. I may have taken him off the wheel at one point, but I definitely remember putting. I could see Santonio. He's there on the right side. He's around. If I'm using a clock analogy, he's around 230 on the wheel. All right, but yeah, Morel's a guy worth considering. Is Eric Smith on the wheel? Nate. Just the name Eric Smith makes me cringe. It just makes me cringe. Chad Cascadden, could, but I don't know how. Yeah. Woody, Damian Woody's another one. Okay. I think I have and Browning Nagel's already on the wheel. Okay, Browning Nagel there. Okay, here we go. Spin number 4 in 3, 2, 1. And it's coming to a stop on Quincy Enunwa. Yeah, this is one of those players that you want to get a little bit late. You want to get him later on because Quincy is a tricky one. Late round pick, super productive when he was healthy. Obviously had that amazing catch and run that set up the Eric Decker overtime touchdown against New England. But injuries just ended his career way too dang soon, man.
Only 119 catches.
It's amazing.
For his career, not a season, for his career.
What? How many touchdowns did he have for his career?
I'm pulling it now. Hold on. I don't think I can put him above Foley and Richie.
Yeah, guys. We can't put him
catches for his career. He had 305 as a Jet. Quincy only had 119. I cannot put Quincy above Richie, so I think we put Richie too low.
They were different type players, but I thought Richie was in a good spot, especially after being number 9 last week. Guys, we can't put him at number 7 because Anderson's got that spot. We have spots 4, 7, and 8 taken. Okay, so it's got to be 5. It's not going to be top 3. It's certainly not going to be number 10. Nate, Richie Anderson is number 7 on this list.
So he had 5 touchdowns for his career.
Okay, in the limited time he played. That's the thing. I mean, Anderson played. So Quincy likely is either going to be number 5, number 6, or number 9.
I think he's got to be 9. I don't think we can.
It's a tough 9. I got to tell you.
Travesty would put Richie Anderson at 7, man.
I thought it was a travesty we put him at 9 last week when you weren't here.
Say again.
I thought it was a travesty when we put Richie Anderson at 9 last week.
Was it the only number open?
At the time, there wasn't much left. It was one of the. I think it was one of it was like the third to last, maybe the seventh or 8th number we filled in. So it was late. It was pretty late, as I remember.
Erroneous on all counts.
All right, guys. Just to recap: at number 4, Sean Green; number 7, Richie Anderson; number 8, Foley Fatukasi. So Nate, there's our recap. All good. Quincy can be 6 if we include his current contributions to the current Jets YouTube channel. Based off that, we'd have to make Chad Cascadden look really good too. So, all right, guys. I think the vibe I'm getting, it's
9.
It's close between a 6 and a 9.
Do it. We're gonna have a big name wheel. All the big names are gonna come out hot and rapid right now.
All right, guys. Okay, we're gonna roll the dice. All right, we're gonna double down on this. We're gonna put Quincy at 9. I hope he doesn't see this. He won't. All right, so spots 4, 7, 8, and 9 are taken. That means we gotta start hitting here. So, well, really, we have to come up with 5 Jets better than Richie Anderson. So, and 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Plus, we have spot number 10. So it's like if you're playing Yahtzee and you have like a junk roll. If you play with a junk roll, we have room for 1 junk spin on this wheel tonight. So that is sort of the deal. All right. So with
Maynard.
our next, what?
Maynard.
Jericho Cotchery.
All right.
We haven't landed on Jericho in a while, I feel like. I'm on Cotchery right now.
Break down the walls. Break down.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Wheel is Jericho. All right.
Hey,
Let's go.
Adam, if you
Yes.
have your pen,
Yes.
can you write down?
You
the
just
next
made the
name?
list.
You just made the list. One of the best gimmicks ever.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
simple, so stupid, but so great.
So fantastic. Brace
Him?
face in row
That was
4
such
is
a
on the
great-
list.
That was such a great, entertaining era because you
Uh.
had Jericho doing the list. You had Santino Marella being Santino Marella,
Cobra!
one of the most underrated entertainers of all time is Santino Marella.
I tell you something right now, John Cena.
Yeah.
He was just,
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
All right.
Cold Stone, Steve Austin. He opened up the can of ass whip. I love them mispronouncing the names. Okay.
Okay, David Baptista.
Baptista. Yes, Baptista. You got the big mouth, John Cena. Yeah, I still love John Cena. It's so funny. All right, here we go. All right, spin number 5 in 3, 2, 1.
Santino Marella. Mickey Schuler.
Keyshawn Johnson. Ooh, okay. That's it. Another guy who wasn't legit very long, but certainly made a big impact when he did. That game against Jacksonville, historic. What? He had what? A receiving touchdown? Was it a rushing touchdown and an interception? I believe it was.
And a fumble recovery.
And a fumble recovery. There we go.
It was the first player since the 1930s, I believe, to do it.
So here, yeah.
How did he do that, you ask?
How do you do that, I ask?
Then he threw an interception. They were going up the sideline. Curtis hit the guy. Ball pops out. Keyshawn gets on it, recovers it. Down about the 10, 12-yard line, they do an end around to Keyshawn. He takes it in for the touchdown. They threw one to Keyshawn, obviously. And then when we were up, I think final score of that game, 34-24, they threw a Hail Mary. Keyshawn was back deep. I'm screaming, Keyshawn's going to pick it. Keyshawn's going to pick it. The ball goes up in the air. Keyshawn picks it. Everyone jumps on me. The area that we had was just incredible. I didn't get out from underneath that pile till Vinny was doing his victory lap around the stadium, high-fiving everybody.
I don't remember.
Third quarter, I start chanting, "We want Denver," and all the old people wanted to kill me.
I don't remember that game vividly well, but I do remember the interception. Guys, I do have to mention in the chat, we can use every number only once. So we've used numbers 4, 7, 8, and 9. So please don't use those numbers in the chat.
I can go.
Clancy, I asked you not to use number. Oh, boy. Okay, here are the numbers that are left to use, guys. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 10. So we got to put Keyshawn at one of those numbers. It's okay. I know you're not trying to be like Bobby and sabotage me here. I know.
I'm having a debate.
Okay.
Between Sean Green and Keyshawn. Now, Keyshawn, one playoff run, one good game against Jacksonville, disappeared in Denver, demanded to be traded. I think I like Sean Green better as a Jet than I like Keyshawn as a Jet. And when you go and tack Cribette, our beloved Wayne Cribette, I think you lose. I can't. I think the chat's agreeing. I see a lot of 5s. All right. Yeah.
I see.
I think it's like unanimous 5, dude. 5s and 6s.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Jay Quest said 3. Jets Mess said 3. I actually thought that he would. I thought some people would put him above Green. I thought this would wind up being a 3, but yeah, I'm more than content to make him number 5. That's fine.
Jets home opener. The year we traded him, I called up K-Rock. I used to tailgate at lot 18B because the 18th is my birthday. So if anyone came with us before we had cell phones, they knew where to find the car. We parked right at 18B. And I called up K-Rock, and they put me on the air at 5:30, and I told them at 7 o'clock at 18B we're having a Keyshawn Johnson jersey burning party. Everyone bring it, and we just torched like a pile of jerseys in the parking lot. Fuck him. 10.
Wow. If you had to
Put it
guess,
at 10 because that's about how many jerseys we had.
I was going to say, how many jerseys are we talking about here? But okay, 10's
I would say there was about 8, 9.
That's a start. All right. And hey, those weren't expensive at the time. Those are like starter jerseys. They were like what, $40-$50 each, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 45.
Maybe?
Yeah, those were the cheap ones, man, with the holes in them. And you washed it once and all the white numbers cracked and went away.
You're not wrong. All right. So Keyshawn will be number 5. All right, guys, I'll give you a quick recap. Spots 1, 2, and 3 are blank. So we gotta hit a little bit here. Number 4, Sean Green. Number 5, Keyshawn Johnson. Number 6 is blank. Number 7, Richie Anderson. Number 8, Foley Fatakasi. Number 9, Quincy Enunwa. And number 10 is blank. This is going to be an interesting finish. I can see this wheel ending very well or very horribly. I really don't know where this one's going to go right now. And I usually don't feel this uncertain about it. Okay, I think we need to
Mickey Shula. Mickey Shula was the Jets tight end in the 80s. Wow.
I'm going old school. I'm going Larry Grantham, the linebacker.
You love him.
I do. I like the old school guys who I want to give them a little bit of love that they don't get, you know.
Who's your favorite Jet before we were born? Is it Grantham or is it Winston Hill? You love Winston Hill.
I am definitely a Winston Hill fan. He had good barbecue too. So. You know what? I want it to be is Matt Snell, but he has remained so bitter at the organization for so long that it really turned me off. So I'd have to go Winston Hill because he was a rock for over a decade for that team.
I was just about to say his name, but Yeti already took it. I'll give it to Yeti. I'm gonna go Freeman. Scott said Freeman McNeil. I'm gonna go Aaron Glenn. Do we have an Aaron Glenn? Not that I see for this.
Yeah. Yep. He hasn't been mentioned yet. Okay, sounds good.
Aaron Glenn.
Okay, and yes, and I said Larry Grantham. Okay, here we go. This is spin number 6 in 3, 2, 1. I need a way to put what number spin this is on the board too. Man, there's so much I want to do. It is. Oh, hell no!
Nate nailed it again. Nate got it again.
Nate got it again? What? No, he said Mark Sanchez.
Golston. Well, he did say
Golston or Milner could be top 3.
But he did say Golston first, so I'll give him Golston.
I'll give him 1.5. Okay. Hank G says 11. I think that's about perfect.
Oh, wait. No. Oh, he said it as a prediction.
Yeah.
Of what
his prediction was Mark
Sanchez was his.
Yeah. So I can't. Yeah. It was close.
I think it's obvious this is a 10. So.
Yeah. Anybody want to counter that? We'll wait. Roger says he called it. Raj, you got to call it this round, buddy. Yeah, right. It resets every single time, you know. But you can name the same player every single round if you want to. You're more than welcome to do that, but we can't remember like by now what somebody said spin 1 or spin 2. But
you said Roger. I don't see Roger comment anywhere.
No, it was probably a couple spins back. It's okay. All right. So, well, guys, we've got spots 7 through 10 taken. So we got to make sure we don't pick anybody worse than Richie Anderson.
We're putting him at 10, right?
You
Golston
think?
At 10? Yeah. All right. I'm just.
I know.
You never know what happens with the wheel, Adam.
You never know.
You never know when the wah wheel gets activated. What the fuck's gonna happen? The wah wheel, baby. Wah wheel.
I actually do have a serious question for you. What is the bigger 9 to 10 fall off? This week, Quincy Enunwa to Vernon Golston, or last week, Richie Anderson to Braden Mann?
Punters aren't people.
Yeah, that's true.
I know you're such a big special team guy. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, the fuck did he say?
Nah, not really. Nick, I've known you for a couple of years now. Of all the things that I've heard you say, that's the one that's going to make me wake up at night and lose sleep.
Just like to say today, I've been a perfect angel. I have not said anything. Today's been this is how you humble Nick. Just everyone else has to go wild.
Well, yeah, 5.5 minutes left. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. We got 4 spots left. Spots
Oh,
1.
you meant in the day.
Yes, in the day.
I
5
got
minutes
you.
left in the day.
I'm like, there's no way we finish this wheel in 5 minutes.
No. if you screw up at 12:01, we'll give you some grace. All right. So we got spots 1, 2, 3, and 6 left to fill. So yeah, we got to hit some home runs here. I got to send the good vibes out here. You know what? You know who I got to put? I got to nominate, Nick. Somebody that you like a lot, and you like to bring up a whole bunch. I'm going to bring up number 59, Kyle Clifton.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
going
going
to
to
go
do that.
Victor Green. Is Victor Green still here? I haven't seen his
Sure.
name yet.
I don't think I would ever take Victor Green off. If I did, it's because I had to reset the wheel, but I thought Victor Green was on this thing. If he isn't, he will be on the wheel next week.
I don't see it. I
don't think
see
he
Vernon.
is.
I see Vlad.
Guys, you know what? All right, that's probably it. I'm gonna make it Victor Green next week for the next wheel.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Can I nominate who to pull?
Well, we're gonna do it with Foley, but do you have another name in mind?
There you go. Done. Great swap.
Deal. All right, let's see. I see Lance Mel, Al Toon, Aaron Glenn, Curtis Martin, Lavernius Coles, Le'Veon Bell, even. Okay. This is spin number 7. And here it comes in 3, 2, 1. Scott Foster with a late vote for Kenny O'Brien.
Marty Lyons.
Oh, I was one away. So close. Larry Grantham. Was, I believe, a linebacker with the Jets for, I think, 12 years, I believe. And did win a Super Bowl and was named All-Pro, I think, about 9 or 10 times. Nate, is anyone 6? No, Nate. Number 6 is available. Hank is asking, who? Victor Green is on the wheel. Never mind. I see Victor Green now.
Is he?
Yeah, Victor Green's on the wheel. He's at about 11 o'clock.
I see Vlad. Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
I would say Grantham. I'm going to pull up Grantham's stats real quick here, because he's definitely going to be in the top 3. There's no way around it. I mean, he was a Ring of Honor inductee the first year that it was a thing. It's trying to get me to pull up Larry Graham, who is, I think, the bass player for Sly and the Family Stone. Anyway.
How about Larry Flint?
I'm not familiar with that name.
Really?
I'm just kidding. Was a Jet from 1960 to 1972. 5-time first team All AFL, 5-time second team All AFL, 24 interceptions in 175 games. Wow.
How many? We only have 4. We have 3 spots left after this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with 2. Put him at 2.
Yeah,
I think got to play the odds of the
thing.
wheel, and it's getting somebody who's a 12-year guy with those numbers. We're not having the big wheel that we thought we'd have.
I've got two interesting things here about Grantham. This is interesting. Jerry Philbin, who was the star defense pass rusher, said, pound for pound, quote, pound for pound, he was the best player on the Jets. That's high praise.
All right.
The other thing,
okay,
this is
2, just in case we get a gem.
And the other thing, this is just weird. I didn't know this was a thing. The Professional Football Researchers Association named Grantham to the PRFA Hall of Very Good class in 2014. Apparently, there was a Hall of Very Good out there from the Professional Football Research Association, and Grantham was named to it 10 years ago. Quite the honor. There could be a lot of Jets in the Hall of Very Good.
Yes. No relation to this is a pretty decent slice of fame that they have.
Yeah. Yeah. We probably just doubled their viewership by just mentioning their name just now. All right. So, yep, Larry Grantham will go number 2. That's going to leave spots 1, 3, and 6 available. All right. So those are the 3 numbers we got to fill in. So we got to get another Ring of Honor member here. Got to.
1, 3, 6 on a motherfucking clock. Fucking just kill him, man. Little Cypress Hill. Sorry, I got the numbers wrong.
Gotcha. All right. I will say I'm going to go.
Gastineau.
Gastineau. DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Chat trying to manifest some Ring of Honor. We got Mangold, we got Lewis, we got Walker, we got Klecko. Nate's nervous that we're going to regret not putting Larry Grantham at number 1. Nate, you may very well be right, but we got 3 shots to do it. All right, let's go for spin number 8, and it's going to happen in 3, 2, 1. And it's coming to a stop on Sean Green again, which means we get to spin the wheel again. So spin number 8.
Spino.
That's right. Bonus spin number 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, Leon Washington, who is no longer a coach with the Jets, but one of the best special teams players that they had. To me, I think it's pretty clear where Leon's got to go on this list. So, to me, he's not a Ring of Honor player. He's not Larry Grantham. But compared to Sean Green, Keyshawn Johnson, concerning his longevity, his productivity, his all kinds of other things, I got to put Leon Washington at number 3. Nick, what do you think? Nick?
I'm thinking. Like,
there's only just making sure I didn't lose you. 1, 3, and 6 are left. Yeah,
I think he's like a 50 to 60 player on this wheel. So playing the odds with 2 spins left, 1 above, 1 below. All right.
Yeah, this one's. Yeah, this one's pretty much. Yeah, this one's unanimous. So Leon will be number 3. Okay, so we've got 1 and we've got 6 left. All right. Yep. That one was a pretty easy spin. Okay, so I'm gonna say we get a good number 6. I'm gonna say we land on Calvin Pace.
I'm going back. Give me Klecko.
Going to Klecko? Okay. Clancy wishes we had put Keyshawn at 3. You know what? I'm good with this. I'm good with this as it is right now. I got no complaints, brother. All right, I see Curtis. I see Ken O'Brien, John Abraham, Alan Faneca. Okay. I think I put Faneca on the list, but I don't think I've seen his name. Did I put Faneca on the wheel? It's got to be someplace.
If not, I say take Denzel Mims off and add Faneca.
We could do that. Brad Smith, Chris Jenkins, yep, Joe Namath. All right, here comes spin number 9. We need an all-time great, or we need a very good, solid player. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Who did I say?
I already forgot. And it's Ray Mickens. Well, that would definitely qualify in the category of very good. He did wear the greatest number in New York Jets history, number 24. And was, as I could give a little shout out to your Sunday night show from a week and a half ago. Yeah, I got to go with Ray Mickens, good slot corner for a long time. I think this is a more than adequate number 6 between Keyshawn and Richie Anderson. I mean, if we had the other way, if you could put like Anderson ahead of Mickens, I wouldn't hate it. But Mickens above Anderson, I don't mind it.
Just for the record, I'm calling Doug Bryan again here.
You should. I'm going to go with John Hall.
Nice. Here we go. Is it
number 1? The last spot left. I want to give everybody a chance. Guys, there's over 20 of you in the chat right now. You're up with us till midnight. You guys freaking rock. I want to say that. So put your guesses in. Even if you never participate in the chat, even if you hate football, throw a name in there. I want to see.
Yeah, you only get bragging rights. Whoever it is automatically goes to 1.
Would it be great if Nate got this one, if he bookended it with the first pick and the last pick? That would be amazing. Clancy, yes, Ray Mickens is most definitely number 6 on this list. Okay, I see Curtis, I see D. Milner, Darrell Revis, Ken O'Brien, Freeman McNeil, Pat Leahy. I'll give you guys just a few more seconds to get it in.
Hey now.
It's 12:04. Then that you could say that stuff now too. Yeah, Chris Sims is not on the list. I think Matt Sims was with the Jets, not Chris Sims, right? All right. Nate says so far 2 through 10 looks perfect. Yep. Braylon Edwards, Dane says. I was thinking about Braylon a little bit earlier. Harlan goes with Abdul Salam. Okay. I see Joe Namath. All right, guys. Well, here we go. It's been a fun 2+ hours, and it all comes down to the ultimate spin. Just to recap where we are, number 10, Vernon Golston. Number 9, Quincy Enunwa. Number 8, Foley Fatakasi. Number 7, Richie Anderson. Number 6, Ray Mickens. Number 5, Keyshawn Johnson. Number 4, Sean Green. Number 3, Leon Washington. And number 2, Larry Grantham. Who's going to claim the number 1 spot? We're all going to find out together in 3, 2, 1, spin.
I changed it to Marcus May.
Sounds about right. Last spin of the night is Pat Leahy. Oh, God. GVH.
Hey, all-time leading scorer.
He shot it.
Did he? Nice.
He did.
Well done.
He absolutely did.
Well done.
As a matter of fact, yeah. Let's let me find it here. There it is. Yeah, Pat Leahy. There you go. In fact, I'm gonna give you let's put the little star right there.
Is that the first time we've ever had 2 people guess it and get it right on the wheel?
Yeah, I am all but certain that that's the first time we've had 2 players guess correctly. We've never had somebody get 2 players, but two players were guessed correctly.
Yeah.
Now the next step is one person getting multiple players. That would be ridiculous.
Gotcha.
So guys, I got to tell you though. Yeah, just real quick.
Yep, I forgot.
Yep. One thing that I unfortunately do have to do, I look at this list, and was Pat Leahy a better New York Jet than Larry Grantham, a better New York Jet than Leon Washington, even a better New York Jet than Sean Green? I'm afraid that I just cannot go with that. I don't care if he was there 17 years. The guy made 71% of his field goals. That's not enough. Therefore, as far as this result goes, I got to chalk this one up as a loss, I'm sorry to say. But that's okay. You win some, you lose some. And guys, this one each time the 10th spin just got us. So what are you going to do? All right, guys. So let's take another quick look at the chat here. Let's see what everybody's talking about. Again, Nate, GVH, good job, guys.
Can I ask a trivia question?
Yeah.
Richie Anderson is 13th all time on the Jets receptions list. Can we name the 12 people in front of him?
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm gonna start writing these down.
Yep.
All right. Well, Don Maynard, of course.
Yes.
Okay. Al Toon, Leslie Walker, Mickey Schuler.
Yes.
Jerome Barkham.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. In the chat, I see Wayne Corbett, of course.
Yes.
Lavernius Coles.
I'm just finishing up with Adam.
Yeah. Lavernius Coles.
Yes.
Clancy says Jericho Cotchery.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. That's 8. It's pretty good. Nate says Curtis Martin.
Yes.
Wow. Good one.
Coles is 4th all time.
Yeah, I could see it. Santana Moss wasn't here long enough. I thought of him for a second. Yeah, I don't think Santana Moss was here long enough.
Nope.
He was here only a couple years. Yeah. Rob Moore?
Yes. Good one. That's the one I thought that people wouldn't get.
Denzel Mims. Johnny Hector, the big fella says. Johnny Hector is a good guess.
No to Hector.
No to Hector.
Hector is 25th with 188.
Wow. Okay.
Richie is at 305.
This is a long shot. Well, who's the guy? Rich Castor.
No.
Ooh.
Nope, just below him at 245.
Oh, all right. It was close. I'm going to take a shot. I don't feel confident, but I'm going to say, because he went here long, but he was good when he was here. George Sauer.
Yes, 309.
That leaves only one left. Big fella says Braylon Edwards.
No. Read the ones that you have.
Okay, Don Maynard.
Okay.
Al Toon. Wesley Walker. Mickey Schuler. Jerome Barkham. Wayne Krebet. Lavernius Coles. Jericho Cotchery. Curtis Martin. Rob Moore. George Sauer. Clancy says Santonio Holmes. Nate says Eric Decker.
No. How many do you have on your list?
That's 11. Maynard, Toon, Walker, Schuler.
Hold on.
Okay.
Going out of order. That's what's confusing me looking at this. All right. Maynard, Toon.
Yep.
Okay.
Walker. Schuler.
You said Coles.
Yes.
And you said Corbett.
Yes.
So you have the top 6 in franchise history. You said Martin.
Yes.
And Cotchery.
Yes.
That's 7 and 8. Okay, now go.
Barkham.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Sauer.
Okay.
So that leaves one left.
Somebody said Keyshawn. Yeah, it's Keyshawn. That's the last one.
Of course, of all people, it's Keyshawn. All right, there we go.
I thought someone said Keyshawn earlier. That's what was confusing me because I'm looking. I'm like, I thought I heard all these.
Yeah. Names. Yeah. What was I'm trying to see if Keyshawn was mentioned earlier. I don't think he was. Yep. Yeah, I think it was. Okay, where was the first time he was mentioned? It looks like it was Jay Quest who mentioned him first. So, all right. Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job with that.
That's an awful list. In terms of the totals.
You're not wrong.
Like we only have 13 guys over 300.
300 receptions?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. Anderson at 305. Freeman McNeil's right after him at 295. So for a team that's been around for 60 years, we only have 13 guys with 300 catches. You have some guys putting that up in 2.5 years for teams now. Like Justin Jefferson would be in our top 10 after 4 years.
For half a second, I thought maybe Robbie Anderson had enough catches. How sad is that? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, he's not that far down.
I'm sure he
Powell's
isn't.
at 18. Johnny Hector's at 25. Garrett Wilson's already at 27.
Where was Rich Kester?
Kester was 15th.
15. Oh, he was right there.
He's right behind. Well, 245. He's 60 behind Richie.
Okay.
Dustin Keller, Bruce Harper, Bilal Powell, Robbie Chosen, Art Powell, Jeremy Curley. Those are the 21 that have 200 catches as Jeff.
The fact that Jeremy Curley is like around the top 20 is scary.
Brandon Marshall's at 168. Garrett Wilson already passed him at 178.
Yeah. And Marshall was here, 2 years? That was it? 2.5 maybe? That was about it. Oh, boy. Yep. Well, you know what? Better days are ahead because, let's be honest, a big part of that usually didn't have the best quarterbacks, but that is going to change this year. So
amazing. All right, chat. I'll see you. I'll be on tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Adam, we'll talk.
Sounds good, Nick. All right. Thanks so much for coming by tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, pal.
All right. We'll see you later.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. And there goes the great Nick Shine. I thank him very much for being here, and I thank you guys for being here too. So just a quick reminder, starting July 3rd, we are going to be going on at 6 p.m. going forward. So the 10 o'clock shows are starting to wind down. Hope that's good for everybody, but I think it's going to allow a lot more eyes to be on the show. Plus, I won't be crossing over with other folks as well, but it's going to work out really, really well. So we'll do something a little bit fun on July 3rd. Maybe we'll have somebody on, but I definitely want to do something special for that show. Well, everybody, be sure to check out NY Sports WickerMedia. We are on the march to 1,000 subscribers. We are well over 900 now. I'm really, really excited about it. Roger, thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you, Clancy. Thank you too. Assist, you are welcome. Jets mess, I appreciate it as well. We aim to do the best that we can, give you the information, give you the emotion, and give you a little bit of crazy and a whole lot of fun. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your night. I will talk to you soon. And you know where I'm going to see you from, right? The place, the one and only. I'll see you with more content from, well, you know where. The Wicker Chair. Good night, everybody.